Last winter I came back from a ski one day and the wind was blowing pretty hard out of the northwest, and this tree had a big crack down in it, just an old balsam tree. I wanted to get rid of it anyway, but I thought it would be a great day to fell it. The wind would take it and avoid hitting my young birch tree I'm trying to grow there, and I knew that while I'm gone sometime it wouldn't go the other way and fall in the cabin. So I just got the chainsaw real quick and notched it and dropped it, but with the deep snow and everything in the winter, I thought, well, I'll take care of it later. Well, now it's later. So since it's right here by the cabin, I don't want to have a stump sticking out of the ground or anything I'm hit with a mower, so I'm going to take some time and I'll dig down and I'll have it all below ground level when I'm done. Always some lasting tough ones down in there going straight down, but we've about got it now. Boy. Yeah, that was as hard as it looked. Ah, kind of hoping that thing was full and cold. Relic from the deer hunter's trophy pile. I have a little ground leveling to do out there where I took that stump out, but worked up a good appetite, so I had a fire going this morning. It was chilly enough. I got some coals. I'm gonna brown up a few of these brats that are already pre-cooked. Got just enough coals here to should do a good job of it. Little holder right here works really nice. It just fits right there into the, well, it's not quite right there. There. Snap right in there. Close the door up and roast up my brats just right. See, my brats are roasted to perfection. I'm ready to go have my lunch. And what are those oddball pieces? Well, you're going to find out in a minute. We never eat alone, do we? These balsam fir really have a strong root structure. You can see with all of those different big roots going out, you saw the size of some of them I cut off. So it's not surprising that when these trees go down with a big snow load on top and then the wind gets pushing, they always snap off about 3 feet up in the air or 2 feet right at the base, because with this kind of a root structure, unless it's really wet, you're not going to pull that out of the ground, and I can see why now. But here in the North Country, the balsams always snap off just above the ground. And these aspen trees, when they get older, they always have a punky, kind of a rotten core about 20 feet up. So their weakness is they always snap off about 20 feet in the air and hit the ground. But this one, it's never hitting the ground that way. Been a very enjoyable, relaxing time at the cabin so far. As many of you know, noticed there's been some gaps in my cabin visits the last few years. I usually try to get here in the spring and the winter and the fall for sure, but I had a younger brother who was going through some major health issues, and he had ruined his liver through alcohol abuse. Then he quit drinking, and then 2 or 3 years later they said, your liver isn't getting any better, your only option is a liver transplant. So he got signed up, and fortunately he was able to get that transplant a year ago. But it required, up to that point, as you're getting ready for a liver transplant, there's a lot of hard times, and that's why I missed some visits up here. I felt I stayed home and I was watching over him because he lived alone. His liver transplant was a success, but unfortunately, after about 7 or 8 months, he was getting ready to go back to work, and he was scheduled to go back to work, but about that time he started feeling not so good, and it took him about a month to figure out what was going on. But then they told him the bad news that he had a neuroendocrine carcinoma cancer that had spread through his body, and that there was nothing they could do. And then after all he'd gone through it, within 3 weeks, he passed away. That was in February, and I thought about doing a trip just after that, but I just wasn't in the mood, and the snow was really deep up here, so. But that explains why there's been some gaps in my visits. Sometimes there are just more important things in life that we need to take care of. In the comments I receive on these videos, I oftentimes hear, Martin, you need a dog. Get a dog. And I oftentimes repeat back that, no, I'm more of a cat person. Well, as I was helping take care of my brother and doing a little babysitting for his dog while he was in the hospital, became a little attached to his dog Buddy. After my brother's passing, we've kind of worked out a deal that we got joint custody, so every once in a while the little Buddy gets dropped off. So I look at Buddy as a good compromise between a cat and a dog. Come here, Buddy. Come here. Yeah. Meet my cat dog, little Buddy. How do you suppose he'd do at the cabin? Be about 4 bites for a wolf, 2 for a bear. But Buddy's an adventure dog. He'd take them on.